Whew. I just flew in and boy are my legs tired because I'm a hiker and I don't fly, I hiked. Anyway, thanks for having me here. I'm Ape Man, and people who follow me know I'm a hiker and outdoors guy, but people who don't know me probably think I might be a homeless guy. But I feel at home here because when I do these outdoor venues like this, I always have to double check to make sure I'm not at a homeless encampment. These outdoor festivals kind of tend to attract my kind of people, which look like they're homeless. But you know, the really only difference between a homeless person and a hiker is a thru hiker, especially. They just have better, more expensive gear. And my apologies to homeless people to compare them to hikers, but you know, please support homeless people, take care of homeless people. Most thru hikers are homeless people, literally. When they get off the trail, they don't have a job or a house. You can help yourself by supporting those people, because if you don't, when you take out the trash, they're going to be living by your dumpster. So support their Patreon sites and things like that. Get them off the street. And take care of the regular homeless people too. I don't mean to begrudge the homeless people. Everybody needs a little help now and then. So this is being filmed for my first comedy special for HBO. So let's have some enthusiasm for me. Let's see how it does. It's not the HBO you're thinking of probably. This is for my personal network. It's called the Homeless Box Outside Network. So, you know, you guys start somewhere. I've been treated like a homeless person on lots of my trips. A couple years ago, me and a buddy got stuck in a snowstorm, and we were out for 8 days. And since it was snowing, we weren't able to do our usually swimming or doing much cleaning. We just wanted to get out, and we had to hitchhike. And we ended up coming out to a different trailhead. Our car was 50 miles away, and we finally found a nice guy who would pick us up. So he drives us the 50 miles, and when we get out of the car, he hands us a box of baby wipes. And he says, "Here, use these. You guys freaking stink." I mean, he should have done that beforehand, but yeah. Homeless, hikers, whatever you want to call us, hiker trash, we're all the same. So just one of those things about hiking. Another homeless hiker comparison. This one time I got to go to Alaska for a week. Awesome trip. Spent a week in the backcountry, but I had to check everything with my backpack, and I had fishing poles, all my camping gear, and we did a float trip for 50 miles down an Alaskan river. It was freaking awesome. But coming back, we didn't have time to clean up everything. Straight to the airport. Smelled, looked homeless. Got on the plane. When I came in through Sacramento Airport, I got a ride from a friend who happened to be there, and my wife works downtown, and so did this friend. So I got dropped off and had to walk several blocks to get her car so I could go home. And I found out what it was like to be a homeless person. It was a very interesting experiment. You know, the homeless people are invisible all the time. People just ignore them. It's like they're not there. And suddenly I became invisible walking through downtown Sacramento. The business people were just ignoring me, wouldn't make eye contact, but all the homeless came up to me. And they were asking me where my camp spot was. Do I know any good spots to stay? Where's the good fishing? It was kind of amazing to not be, to be visible to the homeless and invisible to the other people. But, you know, people just ignore the homeless. I mean, I could have literally taken my pants down and taken a crap on the sidewalk, and people would have just ignored me. Sometimes that's the reality. My wife was telling me one day, she came up and she goes, "I was kind of shocked today. I was walking down the street, taking a walk around town, and there's a homeless person laying on the ground in front of a bench." It's like, yeah, what's wrong with that? Well, he had his pants down. Well, you know, maybe there's something wrong with him. Well, that's not all. He was urinating at the time. So she was traumatized by that. But I've actually done that to other people. One time, me and my daughter were way out in the middle of nowhere. We were a mile off the trail, and I had to go. Nothing abnormal having to go in nature. I make a big thing of it because I hate those toilet paper flower gardens that are always right around camps. So I'll go way out away from camp where nobody's ever going to be. And I found this little V-shaped rock face canyon that ended in a V with a little gully, place to put my hands with some soft sand to bury my waist. I said, this is perfect. And I have a process. I take my pants off, my underwear off, my shoes off. I don't want to get anything dirty out in the backcountry. So here I am, crouched, got my perfect spot, looking at the sunset, beautiful spot. And all of a sudden, across this rock face comes 3 hikers, 10 feet away from me. I'm in mid-dangle. I haven't even got a chance to pinch it off yet. And what do? Hey guys, how's it going? And they tried to make me invisible. Didn't work. I'm sure for the rest of their life they're traumatized by that, or they had a good story. But most hikers are afraid of bears or cougars or something like that. They're afraid of that poop guy, haunting their dreams. So yeah, that was pretty bad. But yeah, it's just one of those things that happens in the backcountry. A lot of things you do in the backcountry you'd get in trouble for in the front country. I could walk around naked in the backcountry. People don't think any big deal about it. But I'd be arrested for being crazy in the front country. So backcountry has its advantages. Sometimes you got to be naked. So anyway, I like to hike. That's my thing. And I like to go out in the middle of nowhere. So sometimes I go solo. So last trip I went on, I forgot to bring my map and compass, and I was on the wrong path. And I met a junction. I was at a junction, and I took the wrong path. Everybody was crazy. I've never seen so many crazy people in my life. I was afraid for my life, as a matter of fact. So I went back to the junction to see where I was, and the sign said, hiking path that way, psychopath that way. So, yeah, sorry, bad joke. Anyway, that kind of comes up with things that you can do in the backcountry that are different than being in the front country. Some psychopaths would be great hikers. Some people I can't stand in the front country. There's guys at work that I've worked with for 20 years that I can't stand those mother effers. But you meet some stranger in the backcountry, talk to him for 5 minutes, and it might be a friend for life. It's just different out there. So, and many psychopaths could be good hiking partners. If Jeffrey Dahmer was still alive, he'd probably be a good hiker. He kind of invented ultralight. He was one of the first ultralighters. He scavenged for food when you go out there. And he always wants to go way out in the middle of nowhere, which I like to do too, but he likes to have a few people around in case he gets hungry. But, there's problems with hiking out with Jeffrey, because when you wake up every morning, you got to kind of take an inventory. So, you might wake up to see him chewing on a big old sausage, biting off a sausage, and you got to go, whew, all right. And then every time you wake up, you go, Jeffrey, what happened here? Anyway, everybody's different in the backcountry. These millennials are a little different than us old guys. Us old guys, we'll be out there and appreciating the beauty, taking some pictures, and sometimes you get in a predicament. You might be not paying attention. Next thing you know, go, oh, I'm on a cliff face. If I fall, I could die. And us older guys, we try to think about, how am I going to get out of this predicament? What do I do? You millennials just say, get the camera. This is epic. In case I fall off, make sure you get a shot of me. And then, they fall. And then with their dying breath, they go, hey, did you get the splat sound too? That's why we have so many videos of the people's last moments in life. But anyway, that conflicts with my leave no trace thing. Okay, here's another corny joke. If you do get in trouble and you're by yourself and you happen to have a woman with you, if you need somebody else to show up, all you have to do is ask the woman in your group to pull down her pants and go to the bathroom, and it's guaranteed people will just show up right and left. It just never fails. It's just something I've always seen. So anyway, that's it for my debut. This is my debut outdoors event. So let me know what you think. And for you hipsters out there, hipsters slash homeless slash trail trash, hiker aromatherapy isn't something people really enjoy. So if you feel compelled to clap for me, do the stinky hiker clap. Clench and clap like this. None of this stuff. No standing ovations. Not that I earned that. But do the hiker clap. And happy trails. Thanks for coming out. See you later.